Hello friends, welcome to another episode. Today, I'm going to share with you an intriguing story that involves some family issues and relationships. As always, we're not here to judge, just to analyze and discuss the events. So, let's dive into this exciting narrative. We begin with the story of Bell, who recently found himself in a complicated situation involving his father and a trip to Paris. Bell, a 16-year-old teenager, was staying with his mother while his father, stepmother, and half-siblings traveled to the City of Lights. What makes this interesting is the fact that Bell was not invited or informed about the trip. Bell, naturally, was upset by the situation and tried to understand why he wasn't included on this family trip. When he finally broached the subject with his father, he discovered that the trip was a gift from his stepmother's parents and that Bell was not part of the original plans. His father cited financial difficulties and budget limitations as justification for not including him. Bell, however, was not satisfied with this explanation and expressed his disappointment. The stepmother's grandmother tried to mediate the situation, explaining that the trip's budget originally only included 3 daughters and grandchildren, but was extended to 4 to include Bell's father. Still, Bell felt left out and hurt. He ended up confronting his grandmother, claiming that she didn't care about him and that his father was being insensitive to the situation. This resulted in a fight and Bell was grounded. The question that arises here is, who is to blame? Did Bell act fairly in expressing his feelings, or was he too harsh? The next story takes us to a dilemma involving an impending wedding. Clara, the daughter of Bell's friend, was about to get married, and her fiancé was planning an engagement party. The problem arose when the groom's mother intervened and expressed displeasure that her daughter did not have such elaborate birthday parties as a child. This led to an argument between the groom and his mother, and the situation became even more complicated. In an effort to defuse the situation, the groom's mother proposed that the engagement party include Clara's mother, but on one condition: she must set aside her views on marriage. Clara's mother refused this condition, claiming that she should not have to change her stance to be included. The question is, who is right in this situation? Should there be concessions in the name of family harmony? The next story takes us to a confrontation between neighbors. Kristen, Bell's new neighbor, owns a wedding catering company and lives near her house. Bell began to notice that her vegetables and herbs were disappearing from her garden and suspected that Kristen was stealing the produce. The situation got worse when Bell tried to apologize, but Kristen didn't seem willing to accept it. She continued to accuse Bell of being anti-breastfeeding and became disrespectful during a dinner party. Bell confronted Kristen and eventually returned the money Kristen's parents had given her as a gift. The question here is, did Bell act correctly in confronting his neighbor about the theft and returning the money, or was there a better way to handle this situation? Next, we have a family story involving a trip to France and a child. Bell's sister planned a trip to France with her daughter, but there was a problem: the child needed her father's permission to travel internationally. The father agreed to give his permission, but Bell later discovered that his sister planned to move permanently to France with the child, which had not been revealed to him. Bell found herself in a difficult position and decided to tell the child's father about her sister's plans, which resulted in a family confrontation. The question is, did Bell act correctly in revealing his sister's plans, or should he have kept this information secret? The next story takes us into the dilemma of a wedding and how family traditions can affect events. A bride was planning a wedding that did not follow conventional traditions, which displeased her mother-in-law. The mother-in-law was determined to impose her own ideas on the ceremony, especially regarding the bride's dress. A disagreement during a birthday led the bride to return the money her mother-in-law had given for the wedding. The question here is, did the bride act correctly in returning the money, or should she have given in to her mother-in-law's expectations? Finally, we have a story about sisters and disagreements before a wedding. The bridesmaid was at odds with the groom's best man, Luca. Luca had been impolite in the past, and the situation between them worsened during their pre-wedding celebrations in Italy. The bridesmaid tried to apologize on several occasions, but Luca was unwilling to accept the apology. This led to a confrontation during a party, and ultimately the bridesmaid decided to no longer play her role in the wedding. The question is, did the maid of honor make the right decision by turning down the role of bridesmaid? Good guys, that's IT. I hope you enjoyed the next stories, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.